We normally hear about fake golf clubs on YouTube and how poor they are compared to the real version. The question I want to know is, how bad are fake golf grips? The smell of them is really, they smell like just pure white spirit.
She's on there, complete.
Cars, if you've got an expensive car, you're probably gonna have to put expensive tyres on it. Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon here. Fake golf grips. I actually bought these by accident. Very reluctantly do I try and buy or ever buy fake anything, and I should have known the price was too good. I was just scanning through loads of different listings, and for whatever reason this one just caught my eye. I just paid for it, and then I looked at where the business address was registered, then I looked at the delivery time. It all kind of came together. Got this very old dodgy grip that definitely needs to be done anyway. So I'm going to re-grip this club, get a feel for what's in here. I have no idea what's in here. From the images, which I'll show you now, you presume when you're buying and paying for it, you'll get an authentic version of a Golf Pride grip. I don't think that can possibly be the case, considering one of these grips I know retails at about £15 normally. To get this from Golf Pride themselves, Diamond Golf, you're talking like £7, £8 in terms of trade. So whatever's in this packet, I don't think can be anywhere near as good as the real version, but I've never tested or tried a fake grip. Therefore, let's open up the package and see what they're like. Also, this video would be good for you guys that don't know how to re-grip your golf club. It's a really simple process. Oh gee, I mean, that is, let me get them out. This is the first time I've seen these grips as well, and from the get-go, just looking at them, I mean, they pretty much look like a carbon copy. However, there are kind of telltale signs that I can see that just stands out from like a normal Golf Pride grip that these alignments are for. So let me get these out. Wow, that's interesting. The smell of them is really, they smell like just pure white spirit. They're really thin as well. Now, if you've never, to be honest, they look and actually feel quite grippy. Like, that's definitely, this is definitely better than what's on there. You're going to get a lot more grip from this than you would from that. However, if you've never used like an Align grip or felt a Golf Pride grip, it's just so thin. It's just all one take. This is normally thicker on the top compared to the bottom. Plus fours are like all one width as well. But I can just tell, like, just the ease that I can obviously bend the grip, that is not going to last as long as a traditional one. So it's almost like the test. I'd almost have to play with them to get some kind of idea, but they are a fraction of the costs. But ultimately, if you just bought these and you've never done a re-gripping, whatever, you could easily get away with thinking that these are somewhat authentic. The bit that does make me laugh quite a lot is obviously the alignment side of it. This bit, it's supposed to have like a small ridge to actually, so you can feel whether you've gripped the club correctly. Nothing. And again, it's amazing because I don't know necessarily how they can kind of get away with selling these on eBay, because I mean, that is just a pure rip-off from the Golf Pride grip. It's got the logo and everything on the top there as well. If you look at the listing, it says unbranded, so it's probably saying that it's not selling a Golf Pride grip, but it's got Golf Pride in the title, it's got Golf Pride on the grip itself. It's even got the plastic around with a serial number, which, let's be honest, I mean, again, you can see the text on here, how all over the place the text is on the grip. I mean, that's probably the least of your concerns, the serial number, but that's not normal. You wouldn't go into a pro shop and see the text on the end of the grip. So there's a few telltale signs, obviously, that these are fake. I knew from the price, and as soon as I looked at where the business address was listed, I thought, oh no. But at the same time, it's, I thought, worthy of a video. Are you wasting your money, or is it going to make do, especially if your grips are like, well, pretty much torn off. Okay, so let's just get straight into it. I'm going to show you the process of how I re-grip golf clubs. This is how I've pretty much done it for the last 10 years. So I'm quite confident doing it on my kitchen floor, but then also I can't really do it anywhere else. If you have a workshop, outdoor space, I highly advise doing that, because it can get messy if you don't know or you haven't done it before. But we've all got quite a lot of time, especially if you're off work like myself, to re-grip your golf clubs. And then if you mess up, hopefully redo them. Things you'll need: grip solution. I bought that off Amazon. golf grip solution. White Spirit you can use, but again it stinks and it's messy and it damages your hands. If you use White Spirit, definitely use gloves. I've definitely hurt my hands over the years by not doing that. One grip container for the residue of the grip solution once you've poured it into the golf grip, and it'll obviously overflow, and then you want the rest of the excess in there. Hook knife, highly advised. You can do it with a normal Stanley knife. You can't scratch steel with a hook blade or any kind of Stanley knife blade. You can with graphite. So if you're doing graphite clubs, that's a must. If you're taking grips off your steel iron clubs, then you can use a normal one, but I mean, they're cheap, just go to home base, and it'll save you so much time as well. Plus grip tape. I think that's it. So we're gonna take off the plastic off here. As I said, it was so weirdly like shrink wrapped on top of here, it almost squashed half the grip. So I'll be interested to see what it's like underneath this plastic. Okay, we are there. From a glance, it looks as good, but you can just see the detail, especially at the bottom end. It's already shiny compared. The grip corded side of it's not actually that bad. You've definitely got some kind of perforations. Be very interested to see what it feels like when it's actually on the club. Some of these are better than others, like this one looks proper. I've definitely chosen like the worst one to put on the club. If I had my set, I mean, I will leave my conclusion to the end of this, but if I had my set of clubs, I probably would, well, I know I would. If I'm spending £700 to £1,000 on my custom fit set, I'd get them re-gripped with brand new stuff. If you've just bought a set for £80, £70, it doesn't make sense to spend £150 to £200 on golf grips, because you might as well just buy a whole new set of clubs regardless. For that sense, I think these kind of grips, maybe just even Tor Velvet, lambkins, whatever grip it is going to suffice. But as soon as you start spending like £400, £500, £600 on your clubs, it makes sense to just get better grips. It's like tyres on your car, like better, more expensive tyres last longer, cheaper tyres, you're having to get them done every 6 to 8 months. And we are done. Right, next thing's next, cut the tape so it's to length on the shaft. Easiest way of doing that is measuring the 2 lines for the top of the grip there, and then where the shaft finishes at the bottom here. You can definitely use like a Sharpie or something to line them all up so that you know you're getting the right length depending on how long or how short the grip is. And then once obviously you've applied the tape, you're going to have to fill the grip up with quite a bit of solution. I highly recommend using more than less. There's nothing worse than getting the grip halfway down your club and it hits a dry patch, and then you're stuck with the grip at halfway on the end, and then you're gonna have to cut it off and you lose a grip. I've done that way too many times. I think the more confident you get doing this, the more likely you are to end up doing that kind of mistake. So more is definitely better in this scenario. Funnel also will definitely help with this. Don't go straight from the bottle, especially if you're on your daughter's playmat, as you don't want to be spilling grip solution on it. And I'll probably have to stand up for the next bit, so hopefully you'll see this in shot. Once obviously you've shaken that out, so it's got loads of solution in there, you're then going to have to pour it down the shaft. Make sure that it's covering pretty much everywhere. You can obviously rub it as well, so making sure that the whole golf grip is actually covered. And then all you got to do is then basically put it on the grip as straight as you possibly can, trying to line up the align bit and the bit at the back with the front groove of your wedge.
Right, she's on there, complete. Pros and cons already from
Feeling it now on the club. Here's a pro. Definitely couldn't feel the ridge here like you normally can when you buy the original, the authentic one. As soon as it's on the club, you can feel that ridge down the back there. It's not as prominent, but you can definitely feel it. Cons, really thin. This says standard at the top here. It's not standard. That's more undersize, which is the size below, normally put on ladies' golf clubs. So that's really thin, and to be honest, a lot of you probably need to put 3-4 layers of tape underneath that just to get it to the same level of thickness as potentially the grips on the rest of your golf clubs. The other downside of it being so thin, how long is it actually going to last? I spent £16 on 5 grips, so that we're talking £3 a grip. and I think I still stand by the statement that I made earlier, if you've got an expensive set of golf clubs, by all means, and again, it's probably the similar thing with cars. If you've got an expensive car, you're probably gonna have to put expensive tyres on it. If you just bought your first set of irons for 50 to 100 pounds, it doesn't make sense to spend 150 to 200 pounds on getting them all re-gripped. This potentially could be an alternative, even though morally you kind of don't agree with it, as it is a complete rip-off. The quality is just not there, there's no question about it, but there's more friction on this golf club now than there was 30 minutes ago when I had quite an old, battered and bruised wedge. Guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. I don't think I've seen a video on YouTube about fake golf grips. As I say, the copy, the imitation is very, very good from a distance. And to be honest, if I hadn't been re-gripping clubs over the last 10 years and using authentic Golf Pride grips, potentially I wouldn't even be able to tell this wasn't real. After a bit of time testing and feeling, it's quite obvious that it is an imitation, it is a copy. But then again, it can still serve a purpose. I would still love to hear your guys' thoughts on the topic. Leave this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Catch you guys there.